Casey Davis is a county clerk in Kentucky, and he made news recently because he's refusing to approve gay marriages, even though, of course, he has to, according to the Supreme Court and their interpretation of the Constitution, and according to federal law now. Well, he went on a radio show to discuss how heroic he is in his fight against the evil gays. Let's listen.
And I think that's a travesty to think that just because he don't see it this way, or his opinion is to let same-sex marriage go, and it's all right, that us as Christians, we as Christians, just don't have rights anymore. That's wrong, sir. And tell me how it is that any Supreme Court judge or otherwise cannot recognize that what they done is completely unlawful. It is completely unlawful. Our law says one man and one woman, and that is what I held my hand up and took an oath to, and that is what I expect to. If it takes it, I'll go to jail over. If it takes my life, I will die for.
You're gonna die to fight gay marriage? If it takes my life, I will die for it. I'm a hero. I want you to know that. I'm willing to die to fight the gays. They're so evil. He really wants us to know that he's against gay marriage. You know, I really dislike the whole gay marriage thing, and I want you to know that I'm so against it. I'm so super-duper big-time against it, and I want you to know I ain't never thought about never getting gay married, never thought about no gay intercourse or sexual actions and whatnot, because I really dislike the gays. I dislike them so much that I'm going to talk about them nonstop and think about them nonstop and be jealous of them. What? Did I say, do I sound like Forrest Gump? Doesn't he sound like Forrest Gump? He's like, when the Supreme Court gets their way, life is like a box of chocolates, life is like a box of dicks, of which I want to eat and touch them and caress them. I gotta stop saying this out loud, man. People are gonna start suspecting stuff. Look, I know it's speculation, but I have to bring it up every time. Whenever somebody's that anti-gay, I'll die to fight gay marriage. I'll die to fight it. Why are you so fucking defensive? Why are you so outraged? What are you doing? Why? We know why. We've seen the studies. We've covered at least 2 different studies on the show, which say that when people are more vocal and really aggressive in being anti-gay, it's usually because they're externalizing an internal struggle, which, that's a phrase, to be clear, from Dan Savage. I stole it from him because I think it's the perfect way to put it. And so there's a few things that happen. They get loud about it, they get aggressive about it, and also it's usually the case that they're raised in a really religious household. So like they genuinely believe on some level that it's wrong, but they want to do it, they want to engage in it. So it's like they're in a fight, they're in a battle, so they lash out against it. Like, no, I was raised to think this is wrong, so this is wrong, and I'm mad about it, even though I want to do it. See, in his mind, he thinks, well, if we let gay people get married, who the fuck is going to marry somebody from the opposite sex? I mean, don't we all want to blow Greg? I know I do. If you give me a choice, I'm choosing Greg's cock over Betty's bush all day long. No, but that's not how everybody thinks. That's just how you think. On some level, I feel bad for these guys. They're hateful, vitriolic bigots, and we need to defeat them, clearly. But, you know, he's living a lie, basically. So there are a couple funny things there. He says, the court is imposing its opinion on us Christians. No, you're imposing your opinion on gay people. It's amazing. They flip everything. Everything in their mind is flipped. We're the victims. We're totally the victims because you're not letting us stop people who love each other and want to get married from getting married. We're the victims. No, you are victimizing them. The court's decision did not outlaw straight marriage. It just allows gay marriage. So it says, to each their own. You want to get straight married, get straight married. You want to get gay married, get gay married. You don't want to get married, don't get married. The decision made by the court was all-inclusive. They try to flip it like it's the liberals who are bigots. Bigots how? We're letting people do whatever they want to do as long as they're not hurting anybody else. That's the opposite of a bigot. You're the bigot. You're like, I want to force my morality on them. And then he says, this is unlawful in the state of Kentucky. this guy is a county clerk in Kentucky. He has no clue how the country works, no clue how the government works. You do know that we have this thing called the Supremacy Clause in the Constitution, which says that federal law overrides state law. So, federal law overrides state law. So if you say on a state level, them gays are bad and we're not going to let them get married, but on a federal level, they say, actually, no, you have to. Federal law wins. End of conversation. And this already was adjudicated in court. We know what the answer is. Not only that, they're saying now, it's not even just that it's federal law, it's interpreted under the Constitution. Equal protection under the law now includes treating gay people equally. You know, that radical idea. But he's like, it's against the law in Kentucky, so we shouldn't have to abide by it. Well, there were also fucking anti-sodomy laws on the books in Virginia just a few years ago. Does that mean, oh, you got a blowjob? Lock 'em up, lock 'em up, lock 'em up. But that's stupid. There's still laws on the books in 7 states that say atheists are not allowed to run for office in those states. Should we not let atheists run in those states? He might say yes, so let me backtrack on that. But if the answer is absolutely not, to all sane people, we say absolutely not. But he's so fucking crazy, he can't see straight. He thinks he's the moral one. He thinks he's moral when he says, I will die to fight gay marriage. That doesn't make you more moral. That makes you less moral, and that makes you an idiot.